Hello everyone and welcome back to Dark Souls Easy Mode. It's been a quite a long time in fact, but not sure. People don't really read the YouTube stuff, but I've put a little information on my channel. Essentially there's construction just across the road for me. So a while ago a building burned down and by now they've now basically started building a new one. Well, what they've done so far is actually tear down the leftovers of the building that was, well, didn't burn down, it was burned out anyway. There was a fire, it's now being deconstructed before they can build the next one. And that just creates a lot of noise. And my usual recording slot in sort of, I don't know, sometime early in the day, 8 AM-ish to maybe 2 PM-ish. That's usually when I have the time to do some recording. That's usually when they do most of the heavy construction. It's been a quiet day so far today. I don't know how long I have until they start bringing in the heavy equipment again. They've got like... I don't like using the word like in that way. They've got some fairly heavy machinery and when they tear down a building, well, it inevitably creates a fair amount of noise. Now, let me just make sure I don't need the covetous gold serpent ring for what I'm about to do. Not that I really have anything else that's of use. Well, we could just go for the flamestone plate ring, why not? Okay, so there's really two ways to continue from where I'm at right now. Or there's two ways that I like to use. There's a shortcut we can open, and then there's a longer way we can do. And I will just waste most of my humanity. Well, not waste, use most of my humanity for this. Sure those of you who know the game know what I'm about to do. This will take a while. Might speed this up or I might talk over it, I'm not yet sure. There's sadly no way to speed this up. They've made this a little easier in Dark Souls 2, but it's still a huge inconvenience. I'll have a little bit of humanity left over and I have the means to farm it now anyway, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, I haven't actually... Have I shown the farming run? It's been so long since I started this, I actually don't remember. I'll do that quickly, just in case I haven't. This is a very easy way to farm humanity. It's not the fastest, but it's accessible very early. And it really shouldn't pose any trouble. So let us warp to the depths. Frame rate still stuttering quite a bit. I'm afraid that's pretty much unavoidable. Now let me know if you notice any difference in how the game looks, because I currently don't have any of the modifications installed, I believe, or at least I've disabled some of the stuff that the Dark Souls, what's it called? Dark Souls Fix. What's the name? Yeah. Good night. I've disabled some of the stuff that does, so that might make the frame rate a little more choppy. I've done a little bit of speedrunning of the game, and well, when speedrunning, you're not allowed to use modifications of the game. Even though, obviously, the Dark Souls fix isn't supposed to change the gameplay in any way. It's still... The rule is just unmodified clients. And, yeah. It's just it makes most sense to just ban all modifications instead of saying for each individual one having to decide whether it's okay to use it or not. And plus, you never know if it has any effect that's not currently visible, I guess. So basically, the idea is no modifications are allowed, which is why I believe I disabled it. I might want to re-enable it for the purposes of the LP though, because so long. Because obviously this is not a speedrun setting. And I'm not so concerned about you know, modifying the game. Because I don't think that the Dark Souls fix has any effect, really. It's just in a speedrun setting, you don't go by that, basically. It's just no modifications are allowed. And yeah, these rats are what you farm for humanity. I've gotten 2 so far. I'm basically just showing you the route that I usually take. There we go. And dead. Okay, that was 3 humanity. That's actually a fairly good run. Now, you can just use a homeward bone afterwards to bone back to the depth bonfire. This will actually not take me to the depth bonfire. It'll take me back to the Daughter of Chaos, where I want to go anyway, so that's fine. The point is that it's a very easy run. All you have to do is kill those rats, which by the time you want to do this farm, which is, for me at least, once I've gotten the Lord Vessel, the rats should no longer be an issue. So you just do this run, and then you get enough souls from them that you can afford to homeward bone every time, and you can buy more homeward bones from the female undead merchant, which I'm sure I've shown you before. So that's the way to do that. I might have already shown you that run, in which case you probably have skipped it. As I said, it's been a fairly long time since I last got any recording in. I'll be right back. And I just got a package delivered. Wow. Alright. Well, what you do is you pop 30 humanities. Now I'm going to remove those so I don't pop them again by accident. And, yeah. I'm entering her covenant. I don't even know which covenant I had before, but I've abandoned it now. Doesn't matter. And you get a pyromancy for that. And now comes the really boring bit. You offer humanity. And the game only allows you to offer 1 at a time. There is no way to speed this up. You could, I guess, cheat engine to just, you know, give yourself more allegiance points with a covenant. But outside of that, every single point you spend manually like this. And you go through the animation every time. And you can't just spam the A button, because by default it sets your choice to no. So you have to go through this manually every single time. Now, a lot of covenants in the game work similar to this one. You basically join it, and then you hand in items to gain ranks in the covenant. The Chaos Covenant, which I've joined here, is probably the most useful for PvE. Simply because, to my knowledge, it has the greatest impact in one specific way. But some of the other covenants will also give you items that have some use in PvE. Mostly, actually, they're spells that you have some use in PvE. You can get some nice miracles from the Sunlight Covenant. The miracles where you throw lightning. Those you get from being a member of the Warriors of Sunlight. And then the Dark Moons give you Dark Moon Blade, which is a weapon buff. I believe there's also Sunlight Blade, which might also be Warriors of Sunlight. The Gravelord Covenant gives you some ranged miracles. as well. Trying to think. The Princess Guard, which is, I think... Yeah, that gives you some miracles that allow you to heal others in PvP, or co-op, I guess. Trying to think. There's 9 covenants in total. And yeah, I spammed too quickly there and accidentally hit no. I'm probably not going to get all the rewards just by myself. Actually, the Gravelord Covenant will also give you a fairly good sword that is kind of similar to the Drake Sword, for example. It can be gotten quite quickly if you know how to do it. All you really need to do is kill Pinwheel. Actually, no, you don't need to kill Pinwheel. You can get to the Covenant from the catacombs, so you just need to know where to drop down into the area. And then yeah, and then once you've done that, you can just join the Covenant. The items that you need to join it are lying around somewhere down there as well. And then you get the sword, and that's kind of a fairly nice weapon early game, even though later on in the game it becomes kind of weak again. It's fairly similar to the Drake Sword in that respect. I believe I've talked about the Drake Sword, I'm not sure if I've gotten it. Also fairly sure I haven't actually used it. The point of the Drake Sword is that it's a very, very strong early game, and then it becomes really weak because there's not really any means to increase your damage with it. And once you've gotten the Chaos Storm Pyromancy, that's when you're done. Okay, that's all I wanted to do here. Wasn't too bad, I guess, even though the first half of this video now has been pretty much eventless. And wow, that frame rate. It's really not good, but this is how the game just runs. After this episode, I'll go back and check if I've actually disabled the S-Fix, or if that's just unavoidably the way this part of the game runs. Okay, I'll leave this now. And I have not killed him yet. Okay. Yeah, let's try. I'll try the... Wait, just... Okay. I wasn't even sure if I'd gotten my sword to plus 15 yet. It's been so long since last I recorded. So yeah, we're going after a potentially fairly easy boss fight here. There is a quick kill, which I will basically be attempting. Yeah, I'm not sure if this framerate stuttering is normal. I'm still going to go with a Flamestone Plate Ring, even though that's not going to help very much. Yeah, I don't really need my sword. So this boss fight doesn't trigger instantly, basically. As you walk in, it is a boss fight. There's a fog gate, I can't walk out through that. Actually, let me switch to an empty hand. But you don't actually have a fight just yet. The boss encounter itself doesn't activate. And what you would be fighting is that thing there. I'll try showing you the quick kill because it's kind of easier, but I might fail it. I don't do it very often. And you can fight this boss sort of normally as well, even though that's a bit of a hassle because the game is known for having bad hitboxes, but he is a particularly bad offender in that way. So what you do in order to get the quick kill is you run all the way back here, and as soon as I loot this corpse, which is his dead sister by the way, so he's understandably upset if you steal her stuff, he will become aggressive. So let's do this. And then I just run. Just leg it, don't fight, just leg it. I'm fairly sure this doesn't work if you aggro him in any other way. You could just use some ranged attack to damage him, and that would also aggro him. But I believe the quick kill doesn't work then. I'm not sure if it'll work this time. There might be something you have to do where you need to maintain a certain distance. I guess we'll see. But yeah, he is pretty angry now. I mean, we've basically stripped his sister's corpse. So yeah, his anger is maybe understandable. Okay, now he can't really get here. I'll show you why in a second. So this is what he does. And now... Hey, you big foolish thing. Well, that did a lot of damage. This is not a glitch, by the way. I have seen people call this a glitch kill. It is not a glitch. Obviously, I mean... That would be a very strange glitch. So, the Ceaseless Discharge, I guess the German name would translate to Lava Stream Demon, or Magma Stream Demon, which is, I guess, also appropriate. He was standing in this puddle of lava. And usually he doesn't come all this way back here. He would be maintaining his distance and just spam his ranged attacks. Unless you stole his sister's stuff, in which case he's so pissed that he really, really wants to get you. But as you can see, there's a cliff edge, kind of where my head is right now. So he can't really hit you with his close-ranged attacks from his usual position. So what he does is he jumps and kind of grabs onto the ledge, which is with his, I don't know, arm thing. And that's what I was punching. So you only have to punch that a few times and he basically loses his grip and falls to his death. And yeah, that's the quick kill you can get on him. You will notice that people who do speedruns actually don't do this because they have so much damage that it's faster for them to kill him normally. But you can actually get the quick kill this way. And of course some speedruns just skip it straight over, straight up skip it, which is also doable but difficult. I can also try to show you another trick, but I've not done this ever, so it might not work. I need a longbow of some description. Do I have the stats for this? No. Okay. Do I have the stats for this though? I'm not sure if I know the right location anymore. Might work. So you can see that enemy down there? He heard the arrow, and it worked. Nice. He goes to investigate, and promptly hops to his death. It's not a very difficult enemy. It's the Capra Demon, which you probably already fought at an earlier stage of the game. Only this time you don't have two dogs accompanying it, and you're out in the open. So it's actually a fairly easy fight. But, you know, this way, as I said, I'm dedicated to showing you tricks that I'm aware of that make it really easy. And this is one of them. By the way, these guys here, they're very, very slow. Just don't fight them. If you kill them, like, parasitic worms come out of them, and those are a hassle. So just don't deal with them. Just run past. They don't follow you for long, and they are not quick enough to really be an issue. I also recommend leaving these Taurus demons out alone, back there. You can see there's a bunch of them. You could kill them right now, obviously, but there's not really much point, because many of the items that they're guarding you can't really get without having a way to massively mitigate the damage from this lava, because, well, running through it right now would be pretty suicidal. You can do it, you can stack your fire defense and just sort of roll through and heal using humanities and such. It can be done, but there's no point, because you will eventually get a way to completely ignore lava damage, or almost completely anyway. So, yeah, that's not really an issue. Yeah, as I said, I wouldn't go there just yet. You do need to go there to get one of the fire embers. I'm not sure if it's the chaos ember or just the large fire ember. Both of those are in this sort of area down here in Izalith, and I'm not sure which one of them is which. I know where both of them are, but I don't know which is which, essentially, so that might be either one of them. If you're interested in getting all the achievements, then you will at some point need to get them. Now, I'm not human. If you are human, then at this point here, Kirk will invade again. I believe I've shown him invading in the depths as well. And now here there's more of these Capra demons. Generally speaking, sort of a bit of an inside scoop, I guess. This area is fairly unfinished. By which I mean the developers kind of ran out of time, and this area really isn't in the state they wanted it to be in. And I believe these Capra demons and Taurus demons that you've seen plastered throughout the area already, I think they're pretty much just placeholders. Let's see if I can poison this guy, by the way. Wow, he has no poison resistance. Okay, and then I'll just pelt him with arrows. You can kind of see just to the left of that pillar that is closest to me, there's an inactive bonfire, and if I kill this guy, I can get to the bonfire. So I recommend you do that. You can also use melee attacks, but he has a way to defend himself if you get closer. So if you have ranged attacks, which I always suggest you should have, then this is a good way to deal with him. Just use ranged attacks. Obviously, I'm not doing much damage because this longbow is not upgraded, and I haven't really got many stat points in dexterity, which it scales with. It also has a little bit of strength scaling, but not too much. But yeah, in general, not too bad. Just takes a while. And then you can rest at this bonfire. I would suggest you do this. You cannot warp to this bonfire, but it's obviously still a safe spot for what's about to come. Okay. I think this is a good point to end the episode. The next one will be a little more entertaining, I hope. But yeah, as always, if you found this helpful, let me know. And I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.